I hope you're having a nice evening. Actually, hold on, let me do my audio transition a bit differently. Actually got it timed well with the song here. Hey, Cinderin. It is time for my inevitable Asa stream. Oh, let's get the lights on here, too. Let's see. Hope everyone's having a good time, though. Set is is starting to get a little bit older in the tooth, but I feel like we're still seeing quite a bit of activity on it. Oh, did I just stop it? Oh no, I just turned my headphones way down. Okay, hopefully that's at a good level for y'all in the stream, but let me know if it's a little bit quiet. Okay, so Asa time. I have been playing a little bit of Asa this week, and I have found that Cohort Guidance Program slaps, rips. It's all the things I really like. Just basically turning the worst card in your hand into a different card and gaining 2 credits is great. It's a card you're happy to sit behind an asset, and sometimes it acts as an extra wage workers. Safer's asking, will you play Prototype? Yeah, I'll put a Prototype in. I feel like it's been... I've been playing with it. Why is it not showing? Ah, there it is. I think Working Prototype's been, like, relatively solid. Like, I've used it just to click for 2 credits, which, like, it does better than Regolith if you're only going to click it once, and it's, like, kind of the same if you're clicking it twice. And then I've gotten to click this, the 5 hosted power counters version pretty reasonably. Like, I've done it a reasonable amount of the time. So, what's next? I think the one challenge that you have to figure out what you're going to do is how do you beat the high roll shaper decks that are on Lobosomum. And Managarm is just like a huge part of how you beat those decks. I almost want to look at like a Warrite tracker or something, but I'm going to try something a little bit different against those decks, because I also want to just try and exploit the powers that be. But if we're going to play the powers that be, that means we don't want to just score. We're probably not trying to win on 3 scores. We're trying to win on 4 so that we get more triggers. And so I'm thinking stuff like Elvigar Bifurcation is probably a card we want to have in our deck. And then we might look at stuff like Vitruvius. We might look at Offworld Office. I think it's just the best one for us there. We want a Luminal. I need 2 more points, or I need 4 more points. Let's go and look at HB and neutral agendas that we can play. I guess Midnight 3 is not the worst, right? Yeah, let's do Midnight 3. We'll put some wage workers in. Hey, Ballroom. I'm sad I haven't been able to catch your streams for various reasons. Yet with the set so far, but I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? How's the new stuff been treating you? It's been an interesting set of cards for sure. Let's get our Rashidas in. Let's get our Spin Doctors in. I almost wonder if you could get away, because I actually think so. I got rolled by a 419 last night because I could not find a Managar, or I could not find my One of Virus in the top 30 cards of my deck, and literally I just lost to Amakua. I'll have to start having concerts that Pat wants to come to in Boston more often. But yeah, that was a very fun stream. I'm hoping we should have, I'm going to be going up to the Neon Static guys' place again soon for some online content, and I know it's not that same energy, but it was a lot of fun. I need to get in touch with some of the people that I think I can. The silly energy can be a little bit hard to crack sometimes, I think. But okay, so we've got lots of things, and we have no influence for ice here. Let's get. Do I want any magnets? Do I just like gatekeepers more? Do I want to put in some warm receptions? Like 17 assets is too many, right? It's just too many assets, right? I'm spending half of my deck on non-assets and ice. And I haven't even put fully ops and stuff in, right? Maybe I don't need corporate hospitality if I'm all in on powers that be. I might just play like some hedge funds. We want drafters. I think drafters is like, oh, you're trying some startup today yet? Yeah, startup seems, honestly, startup seems a little cursed. I have not looked at it. It's also just not a format that like super entices me. But a card I've actually been kind of impressed with is Eli. Like, it can be a little bit weak, but you know, if people start playing more, maybe actually, you know what? Let's go and play some Hoggins instead. Oh, we're over card slots. Okay, we're gonna figure that one out later. MIC. So 6, 9, 14. 14 ice is probably about what I want, so I have to cut 3 cards here. I think it's the warm receptions. I don't think I actually have good D-res synergy here. Like, oh, this deck also really wants at least a 1 of Biotic Labor. I feel like I want some Marylands. I can get back a slot by getting the 3rd Midnight 3. Looking at these assets, just trying to figure out how I make it work. Because, like, genuinely working prototype is meaningful econ right now. And that seems not ideal, as my econ is Rashida, working prototype, and fully op, and hedge funds. I mean, I could cut the 3 hedge funds and put in 2 Marylands, maybe. Let's see what the draws look like here. I suspect that this is... Oh, I still need to cut more cards here. Woof. Okay, well, if I'm talking about how high up my curve is, but this is not enough ice, I feel like you really kind of need 14. Let's cut an agenda here. So Pulse is not going to be great here. Do I want a single Ansel? Let's take a look at how this draws. Yeah, like this seems like a tough draw. Yeah, I think this deck needs to be on hedge funds. Yeah, the cohorts, that's actually like, I'm wondering if this is the drop too, and like this is where I want to be, and then I have to drop 1 more card. Maybe I can drop 1 Managarm. That actually might be okay. Let's give this a shot. We'll call this HB and J for instead of PB and J for those of you who are Americans like me and have a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Okay, 14 ice, 16 assets. Okay, let's save this and then take a look at the draws here. I also really should have shaved, but oh well. Oh, this hand's actually sick nasty. Yeah. Okay, that hand's great. I mean, this hand's also great. This hand's not super, but probably playable. This hand's tough. Quite tough. It probably becomes doing that and clicking for a credit. But then it's probably okay after there. Yeah, that actually recovers fine. This has to be a mulligan. This is a mulligan. This is a strong keep. Yeah, this seems fine. I wonder, you know what, we're gonna do something a little bit funky. I'm gonna, just to get new cards in the deck, I'm gonna try this. I think it's gonna be worse than hedge funds. And then I'm gonna copy this to Jinteki.net, and then... so I don't know if there's... Gwen, I genuinely don't know if there's any new auto-includes for Asa. I think it's kind of interesting that there probably aren't. But I've been really... Like, the thesis of this deck is that Cohort Guidance Program is cracked. And actually, Asa is its best home. Now, I'm not sure the Cohort's Guidance Program is, like, absolutely wild, but it's been interesting to me so far. So, and I should also, like, shout out... It's funny, like, this is a deck that, like, I wanted to talk about last week, but was told not to by some teammates who then went and played different decks anyways. But if we go to Always Be Running real quick... where was this? The first NANPC event occurred. The next one is in Toronto. That's coming up very soon. But Sid came in second with this deck, which is, you'll note, very similar to what we just built. 3x Cohort, 3 spin, 1 powers that be, a tributary, a more standard HB agenda suite of 2 Ikawas, and then all of the good ones. And it uses active policing as kind of its end game pivot, which I think is quite interesting. I think this deck is really solid. I've been running quite a bit of it, or stuff kind of like it. And it's like, you know, someone else, and maybe the person I got it from in my testing group had seen a deck like this as well, and that was sort of the idea. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, this set had good Asa and good op cards, so it's going to be difficult for me to do other stuff. But maybe later today we'll do some Atea Cohort Guidance Program, because I think that card also looks great in Atea. Like, I don't know. Cohort Guidance Program is like a weird value card, but can also just do some really unfair stuff in general. Oh, I want to keep this hand, but I can't. Like, these are 3 great cards, but then I have 2 bad cards here. Okay, this is good enough. I mean, it's going to be dicey. Yeah, this is a very Christmas for Jeff kind of set. Yeah, it's just going to be something like this. Shaper can do, like, Arsana decks can be pretty aggressive. Oh my god, we're about to get, oh, hold on, I forgot to change my screen. Well, time to get some punishment. There's no way I have a 3rd agenda in HQ. Don't worry about it, Hero. Yeah, I'm excited to do some Arsana cooking next week, I think. Are you gonna let me draw 3? That'd be nice.
And now, broadcasting live from our near Earth.
Okay, we don't need to discard anything.
We bring you this NBN special report.
Okay, so I think I'm going to do Cohort Guidance Program here. Start the turn. Mandatory draw. We're going to trash the fully operational. Oh, I don't have enough credits for corporate hospitality, which was the whole point of that play. Oh, shoot. Okay. Math. Okay. I think I'm going to click for a credit and assume that my opponent doesn't have another jailbreak in Arsana. Actually, like, I would prefer they don't run archives, but I don't think I mind it right now. Try to decide if I res the Maryland campaign here. I think the answer is no. Is the music super loud? I did not take a look at it, Colin, but I could believe it. Oh yeah, the music does look kind of loud. Give me a second. Hopefully that's a little better, Colin. So I'm just gonna let, like, part of how I win usually is letting... Okay, well, GG. Often letting people exhaust themselves is a good way to win, but so it goes. Yeah, well, drawing 8 points in 9 cards is not great. That's a very pitiful well played, but... Alright, well, that's sort of an unfortunate result. But... So it goes. Guess I should have kept my first hand, at least. That didn't have 3 agendas in it. Yeah, and like probably the correct play there was to click for credits and Gatekeeper HQ. Okay, one day we won't draw all agendas. This is actually a playable hand. Being all barriers on HQ is not probably what we want. I think it's probably something like working prototype behind an ablative barrier. Ansel on HQ. There's a part of me that wants to just res that I can just click for 2 here, which I think is maybe a little bit better. Like there is a like, oh, I can make the runner expend resources, which is probably okay, but I like keeping my own tempo up a little bit more. Especially because we don't have that much econ in the deck right now. We'll look at stuff like Spin Doctor Hagen. Like, actually, this Buzzsaw being out's not terrible for me right now. Like, Brand's not at his best in this matchup. Do I want to let my opponent go to here? No, I'm okay to spend 5 here. With no D-Res, Resin the Ablative Barrier here is a little bit crummy, but that's okay. Acid decks usually don't play resources, so I'm really just going to be maybe clicking for 5 at some point. If they hit the Spin Doctor, I'll be sad. Okay, so I'm going to draw first click, draw second click, and we'll just do some of this nonsense. Don't need to protect the Maryland yet. If they click for credits and then go after the Maryland, that's fine. I don't know that I'm going to need... Oh, actually, the Brand I definitely won't need. The other cards I probably will. Wage Workers going is... okay. It's not the best. Not the best. Strike Fund for 4. Finality. Okay. Hey, San Francisco. Nice to see you come by. It is purple time. We're losing the Corporate Hospitality. So opponent took 2 core damage this turn, which is probably okay. Hey Andre, hope you're having a nice break. So we know the top doesn't have really anything, but I do sort of need to draw through it. The fully op is very nice. I think I'll do the Manic Arm behind an ablative here. And we'll get this show on the road. Next turn is just a big old fully op. Opponent's only on 2 credits. I am somewhat... Yeah, I guess I probably should have looked at trying to get to 6 there, but that's all right. I probably don't need this working prototype, and of course I've been a Vitruvius there. Nice, nice, nice. Fully op, draw 2, draw 2. Draw 2, gain 2. Okay. So next turn, I'm playing a very expensive Seamless Launch. Or I'm putting a Drafter on Archives, which I think is probably better. Okay. Thinking. So I think it's going to be Rashida on server 3 with a Mick. And then Drafter on Archives. I often don't ice Archives very early, but like I'm starting to think that like, hey, if I can like just a little bit of ice to slow him down, so like not giving up points for free here is good. And this also lets me set up for plays with powers that be, fully and like okay. So not having a wage worker sucks here. I think I'm gonna not ice this powers that be. It means it's gonna get. Because I think I want to ice R&D here. Oh, I should have done this in a different order. Okay, because I probably do want to get 2 cards out of my hand at once. I think I want the Off-World Office more than the Midnight 3. Like, well, actually, no, I want the Midnight 3, but I don't think I can have the Econ for it. Maybe I do. Okay, so we're going to go Midnight 3 in Server 3 with the Mavirus. Then we're going to Gatekeeper R&D, and then we're going to put down the powers that be. And now we're, I actually think, sitting in an okay spot. I might zoom out just a bit. Hey, now again, I heard you have some very schnasty tech, so I'm excited to find out what that is. Drafter on Archives. Okay. Start the turn. We'll shuffle Maryland into R&D. This is hilarious. I'm going to, because I've drawn none of my 5x whatchamacallums, I'm going to Biotics, score out a Midnight 3 Arcology. I'm going to res a powers that be. I'm going to score this Midnight 3. I'm going to use Midnight 3 to draw me 3 cards. Then I'm going to install Project Vitruvius onto server 3, also installing an Anoetic Void. And then I'll ditch a top card from R&D because my hand has, my board plus hand has 10 points in it. So, you know, that's certainly something. Begamot comes down. We'll mill 2 more off the top. There goes my cohort. Would have liked to see that. I think I'm not scoring this Vitruvius next turn, which... I don't think I want to res this Drafter here. So I could res this Gatekeeper and try and do some recovery. Because then, if I res the Gatekeeper, I gain a click for 6 action into stall, into advance into fully op, and it gives me some hand pressure relief. So I think I will do that. Now it's making stuff weaker, so maybe this is wrong. So if I shuffle back 3 cards, I don't think I want to draw 3. I think I want to draw like 1. And then I'm going to shuffle back 3 agendas. Then I'm going to start my turn. Oh, another Gatekeeper is perfect here. So I think it's... I think click for 6 is good. Wait, what? Oh, that's a weird bug. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay. Oh, you know what I can do? So I just want to get I want to like guarantee a face down card. I think I'm okay suffering a finality this turn. If I draw 2 cards and gain 4 credits. Okay. So finality credit is bad for me. It's actually probably game losing, but that's why we're going to get a Vitruvius token here. Rerunning powers that be. Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate for me, but I kind of have an alternative powers that be. Okay, so none of my barriers are relevant against Begamot directly. So, the problem here is I sort of have to plan ahead on... Okay, so I could trash the Hagen to try and accelerate a meaningful ice into play. Actually wonder if that's better here. Okay, Spin Doctor's reasonable enough. So let's fully operational, draw 2 cards. Let's draw another 2 cards, and then we're going to gain 4 credits. Yeah, Baramu, I just realized that this Mavirus pop on the Drafter Fire would be good. I'm going to see if I can bait that out now, basically. Okay, so I want to avoid discarding an agenda so I can safely do this. Ideally, so I have 3 face downs here. So I can actually get 2 advancements on this Vitruvius and then install like a Midnight 3 or something here. Yeah, this is a totally decent Ansel res. I could actually see my opponent letting... Okay. So the opponent can't steal here, so they're going to see an agenda. Kushida, that's fine too. Okay, so now I can res this cohort, start the turn, mandatory draw. I'm going to use Cohort Guidance Program. I'm going to turn a card face up in Archives. Let's put a counter on Vitruvius. And then we're going to turn a face down card in Archives face up. Let's put down another Hagen, put this on a Vitruvius. So I want to have a click left to put an agenda in the remote here. So I'm going to go advance, advance, score. I think I might keep the hospitality here. And then I'll put a off-world office in server 3 and end the turn. Managarm Void I think is just enough on its own. I don't even actually have to res the ice, though a Bladed Barrier might be a nice res. Oh, that's interesting. That's not what I was expecting. So what we're going to do is, seems like a good time to res purge viruses, res the drafter. I'll still have 2 credits to res the Manigarm, which is enough here. We'll add a Foliop. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it is an Ansel 1.0 on HQ. Yeah, it's add a Foliop back to hand, and I'll install Spin Doctor and a new remote. And then, so we have... So there's 2 points here, plus another 6 points here is 8. And then we have another 4 here. So I think I read... Okay, hold on. Thinking. So, because I could try and draw all of the agendas in the game, I think. Because I have 10 agendas in the deck. There are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 3 more in the deck. So actually I feel like Spin Doctor is... I mean, no, Spin Doctor is neutral. But the idea of rising Spin Doctor is I'm going to... Oh no, I have... Never mind, I have Office in the remote. I'm not doing this. I'll just give up 2 points here. Yeah. Of course I gave up 2 points on 3 accesses. But hey, what are you going to do? That's wild, though. So that is 3, 4, 5. So there's 1 agenda left in the deck. Okay. Yeah, this is not a super interesting decision. Yeah, we just res the Manigarm here. And I can still score this off-world office. That's wild. From 0 credits. It's kind of nice. Okay. So we're going to go Cohort Guidance Program. I'm going to turn this Rashida face up. I'm going to turn this Rashida face up. We're going to lose a click, gain 6. Counter a... oh, I don't want advancement counters. I think counter 1 should work. Great. Now I can go advance, advance, score. And I'll just put a Midnight 3 in the bin. And end the turn. Oh, there are resources. Shoot. I think I can do multiple undo clicks now, right? Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now... This is more expensive. They're equally costed. Yeah, it is just Manuel. Like, I don't care. There's... I guess there are 2 points in R&D, but I think I can live with that. And then I'll discard this drafter that I can't install. So next turn I win if they don't rip it out of hand. And I can pad with 4 additional cards. Okay, sick. Yeah, I don't think there was any... I guess they could Finality there, and they'd have a decent shot at winning. Though I could deck myself. Yeah, I could actually... No, if they Finality, I could guarantee I don't lose, because I let the Finality trash 2 off the top. then Spin Doctor 2, shuffle back 2 non-agendas. I guess I don't guarantee. There's like a very slim line where I don't make it, but oh, there's a Mick that I've been waiting for all game. I guess I have one on the remote. Where's my biotic labor? There it is. Okay, so cohort guidance programs did not show up for a long time that game. They seemed good. Working prototypes seemed pretty solid too. But not having a wage workers felt really bad. I'm like, should I cut a cohort, put the third wage workers back in, and then spend 2 influence on ice, like a Tatubola maybe? I wonder if that's better. Yeah, Team Spo, maybe that's the actual, like Team Spo is, like, to me, I'm like, okay, what I'm actually trying to do with this deck is build around Team Spo. Right? Like, 2 of these is a big investment. Oh, let me go back to the deck building side. So, like, I feel like if I'm playing the Biotic, I should be playing Elvigars. The Hawkins didn't feel great. I'm not sure the Hagen actually does anything I want it to. I think compared to just like another Ablative and like another MIC. Christium is very good right now. I mean, so that's just so it. But I'm like, I can't. Like, I can put the Christium in. Like Christium definitely. I can see the value in Christium for sure. But I'm at 49 here still, right? And I want to get, like, I want to have basically 5 Jeeves on the boards. Not working prototype wage workers, right? So I could cut the Biotic, but to me, the Biotic wage workers interaction is also, like, one of the important parts of the deck. I could cut the corporate hospitality. We never really wanted to play one. Is Magnet doing stuff? I'm not sure it is, but maybe it would have in that game. Yeah, Biotic seems very good. I feel like I'm less sold on corporate hospitality. I don't want to cut Ice Aksu. I feel like you need to have some ice to make... So my thesis on the meta, like, especially because... No, I'm going back to the MIC, I think. We already have a cheap, reasonable code gate here, I think. Yeah, Biotic seems very free. Maryland was pretty important there. Working prototype was a little slow, but I think fine. I mean, I could just play a 14 out of 15. I could play a wraparound, I guess, over an ablative. It does kind of the same thing, but it's probably a little bit better against some stuff in the meta. The thing I really want to do, though, is cut a Midnight for 2 Elvigars, but then I have an even bigger issue. It's like I cut corporate hospitality then, but really I feel like it should be a powers that be. Yeah. Yeah, I agree the powers that be hasn't felt... So, I've played a little bit of powers that be, and when you get to, like, score an agenda and then pivot, like, put a Rashida right back in that remote, that feels good. So I want to try and chase that a little bit before I just dismiss it, right? Yeah, people should come to Boston. It's going to be a good time. I mean, this is not a great hand, but it's a playable one, I think. Okay, now it became a little bit less playable, but I think it's just wage workers behind an MIC. MIC on HQ. I'm gonna power some credits out, I think. Alright, we're gonna lose the wage workers off the top. And then we res an MIC here, I think. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Beanstalk Royalties is a card that you can play, right? Like, yeah, would I want more than the Beanstalk Royalties usually? Yes, but like I'm suffering with this draw right now. But actually, I know that my draw is decent here, so... Okay, I could put down the Vitruvius here. Actually, that seems fine, right? And then we draw 2 cards, and we Beanstalk. Okay. Well, CTC got me with an inside job here. That's going to happen. Now we just make him keep having inside jobs, I think. Draw. I like the ablative, I think, here. Server 2, we'll do the void. I can't res that much on this server, but it looks scary. I think the wage workers is actually the target here for CTZ. Ooh, a trick shot, spicy. Oh my goodness. Golly. This is just click for 4. Yeah, we're getting rolled a little bit here. Okay. I actually don't think I mind this quite as much. Oh, thank you. Because my turn is, I think, click for 2 credits and then just throw... Yeah, so this is going to be trash the void. Oh, okay. Wanted to scout out the other card, I guess. Yeah. Credit, install server 1. Yeah. A lot of singles on R&D doing some real damage here. This is kind of why I don't want to drop Ice, because Ice does a lot of good stuff for you. Okay, this is not bad for me, because I get to go res this. And I think I'll put the powers that be on the board. Oh, I'm short on freaking credits because I res this ablative. Ugh. Yep. We're just going to trade here. I could Gatekeeper, I guess. Try and get my third. Okay. This is going to be res, click for 3, and then draft on R&D. Yep, this is just very nice pressure. Don't have a way other than resing this Gatekeeper here, I think. Yeah. Which is not great for me. I actually have to put both of these off-worlds back, because even though that means that R&D is now very, very juicy, I need to like be able to take a couple turns off to draw and set up here. Okay, so this is going to be a card with trash costs. Okay, so this is click, click, click. Yeah, Bones is not great for me here, so I think I'm just going to keep clicking for credits here. I really would actually... No, I can't afford to do the drafter face check here, which is annoying. Do I biotic this luminal? No, I don't have enough credits. Okay. Well, that'll make it a simple choice then. I will score this, and the turn, discard him a virus. I think I can go from here, and maybe be in this. Like, I'm not dead. I'm about to be much more dead. Inside job R&D to C2. That's gonna do it, I think. There's so many agendas in R&D. Okay, no agendas there is good for me. Okay, so how do I want to build up this board state? I have to be a little bit intelligent here. So Luminal's gonna end up in this remote, because Void is just good enough. Do I want cohort? I mean, it's just cohort behind a gatekeeper. Yeah. So we're gonna go. Yeah, it doesn't particularly matter. These are the same card basically. So the question is now, I need 3, 3, 9, and gain a credit. We know the top card of R&D is not an agenda, so Z to Z would have to be like. There's some options here. Okay, so we're charging up the ablative. Charging up the twinning. Hand is clean. Powers that be is online. We have no cards to actually recur though. So we're actually doing an install from hand. But we are ignoring all costs. Okay, now we might actually just put the wage workers back in this server. I feel like that's maybe the thing we want to do. Why not break the ablative? Because it's literally the same thing as not breaking it. He has no CTC has no recurring credits, so it doesn't actually make any difference. Let's trash this Ansel. Nice. Okay. Oh, break counter is useful, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to install a wage workers back into server 1. Let's put Bran on R&D. I think I'm going to put a Maryland in server 2. And then I'm going to click for a credit. The Maryland's not going to stay there for long. It's probably not even going to stay there till next turn if I draw something. I'm not trying to res this Bran right away. I am trying to res the drafter. I guess this is awkward because I'm going to be... I can't really use my cohort this turn by installing that Bran. So maybe that was not correct. Yeah, I think actually installing that Bran was not correct, but... Yeah, I don't think I want to check my biotic here. I think it's too good. Yeah, whereas this drafter I would gladly chuck, right? Okay. Yeah, I think Rashida in server 1 is fine here. Next turn is chuck the drafter, and we kind of start pushing forward. Credits are still kind of low. MIC on HQ is okay. I feel like you could do this last... Oh, I guess you can't do this last click. But... So I could pop this MIC, but I don't think I want to. I know that HQ is safe here. So... Let's fire Rashida first. Trash this asset, draw 3. We'll use Maryland to gain 2. We'll trash this... Yeah, I think still this drafter from HQ. Okay. So then we're going to go... Midnight 3 on server 2. And then we'll put... I kind of want to put the Chrysium in server 2 and the Managarm on HQ here. That seems deranged. Right? But I feel like it's actually the more impactful card. I could also put just another Ablative on server 2. No, I think this is actually the play. Because I think I am significantly more worried about HQ pressure than I am about the remote. We still don't see a way to break Gatekeeper. We have the Spin Doctor on the table. And we can look at something like Wage War. Like, yeah, we are starting to get in an okay place. If CDC runs Archives, we don't get to score this turn. We have to play it out a little bit slower. But also, this would be a game where I would love Working Prototype to show up, because we could have totally... Like, bouncing the Twinning here is so nice. Even bouncing the Classic isn't bad. Yeah. I don't know, like, one of the things I'm seeing is, like, a lot of runner decks are not super rich right now, but they're able to break ice really cheaply. So, like, the leaning on Managarm Anoetic seems good. Gwen, it is purely a bluff. Purely a bluff. Now, it's going to get called out here. Okay, so CGC just has to run Archives here, unfortunately. Yeah. And then we can't score. But we couldn't really do anything about that anyway. So we'll put a Midnight 3 and we'll put a fully operational back. We'll purge all the virus counters. And then we just have to wait a little bit. It's going to be a bit of a slower turn. Mandatory draw. I think we can trash this drafter. Let's draw 2 cards. Working Prototype actually seems okay. We'll draw 2 cards again. Then we'll draw 2 cards again, and then we'll gain 2 credits, because it looks like I just don't have ice left in the deck. So I could put down a cohort, a spin doctor. I can also put down... Yeah, as long as my cohorts live, I can score. It's a little bit risky. I probably don't need these Rashidas anymore, considering there's only 8 cards left in my deck. Yeah, okay. So we'll, if CTZ ever runs the brand, we'll figure it out, but... Okay, so I'm gonna take my mandatory draw. I'm gonna cohort guidance program, turn a face down card face up. Turn a face down card face up. Then I'm going to advance, score. We're going to use Midnight 3 first. Okay. Oh, drawing the Managarm there is fantastic. Oh, I didn't need to do this, though. I could have saved myself a cohort and actually drawn some cards here. But I think it's just going to be Off-World Office in Server 2, Managarm in Server 2, and I think maybe a working prototype in a new remote. And we're going to... Oh, I don't need to discard down to hand size. Okay, so there's 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 1 agenda left in R&D, which is 1 more agenda than I want there to be in R&D. Carmen comes down. Okay. So I'm going to res working prototype, res spin doctor, res Bran. Chat pointed out that Kurapira should have 4 counters on it, because you could have charged it for free off the ablatives. When bravadoing. Okay. Okay. So I have to res drafter here. I whiffed on drawing the agenda that I was 50-50 to draw. So now I have to just make the odds as good as possible in my favor. We'll put back a wage workers and a wage workers. It holds! Okay. GG's. Okay. Alright, wow, that was tense. That was lucky for me. That was a 1 in 4 permutation, I think. My heart rate's low, honestly, but I think I felt so doomed that game. So thanks for the game. That was a ton of fun. Yeah. Okay, Midnight 3 has been impressing me. I do kind of want to be scoring them continuously and making money other ways, but yeah, see, I think you probably figured this out, but I bluffed a Chrysium grid in the remote. Yeah, Midnight is tight. Oof. That was a very good one. Because I had most of the points in HQ at that point, so I was like, I really need the Managarm on Centrals. But I need to, like, present the threat, right? It's funny, because, like, that's definitely a play I can get away with against certain people. I don't think I'll get away with that play too often against you, especially not when I take, like, 2 minutes to think about it. But, you know, if I, like, Windmill Slam, I guess it's the install the upgrade on HQ that looks really suspicious there. Because, like, you're not going to be hurting me with anything at that point, right? And Ice would be a better install there, though there wasn't that much relevant Ice in my deck. I think actually one of my misplays there was discarding a final Drafter, which would have actually been quite nice to have. Like, icing up Archives, I guess maybe an issue with Cohort is that I want to be icing Archives at some point, so that the runner doesn't get to turn it off for free. Unless I consistently can get 2 on the board, but with only 2 in the deck, that's less consistent. Yeah, I think, like, genuinely, I think Cohort is, like, a really good card for Jinteki. I am thinking that probably I should cut the powers that be for the 3rd Cohort and play one, play one of the recursion event, because yeah, I mean, Drafter is like maybe the best ice in the format right now, which is kind of wild that there's this 3-cost sentry that is just completely, like, feels like it's nuts. Okay, this hand, I can't keep this, right? Hey, Peter. Yeah, I don't think I can keep this hand. I would love to keep this hand, but I can't. This hand, though, I think is very good. Okay, so I think it's Cohort behind the Drafter. Let's just brand up R&D and working prototype in the new remote here. I think I'm not actually going to use the Cohort Guidance Program this turn. I'm going to just treat it as a threat. If my opponent can't trash powers that be. Okay, we see a pressure spike. I actually don't see a lot of pressure spikes, which is interesting. Okay, we're going to go draw. Let's draw again. Okay, that's actually a pretty solid draw. And we'll put powers that be behind a Gatekeeper. What's going on here? Test. Okay, that's what's going on here. Well, I'm still... What's going on, JNet? Okay. Weird. I didn't... Did anyone... Oh. Okay. Did the stream drop for anyone? It doesn't look like it did, but... Okay, so we're probably going to get Lobasomed this turn. Is my assumption. I think I'm okay with throwing out an MIC, though it's honestly a pretty solid ice, but we have a powers that be, so I might even try and use the Lobosome to, like, get stuff back on the board. The Biotic seems very good here. Okay, great. So I think it's just another working prototype. Then we're going to fully out. We're going to draw 2 cards. We're going to finally find an agenda. We're going to draw 2 more cards. We're going to gain 2 credits. We're going to gain 2 credits, and we're going to naked install a Midnight 3 because my opponent hasn't contested the board yet. If they do contest the board, that's actually okay. Ideally, they won't, obviously. Yep, here's the spark. Oh, they hit a turbine. That's unfortunate for them. That means they're probably not running. And a daily casts. Okay. So we get to score a Midnight 3, fire off a Powers That Be here. Okay. So we're going to turn 1 face down card in Archives face up to put an advancement counter on Midnight 3. And then we're going to go advance, advance, advance. Let's res this working prototype, res this Powers That Be, then score the Midnight 3. We're going to trigger Midnight 3. And then we're going to put down... Hey, morning, Jai. Yeah, I don't have the Maryland, the wage workers this turn yet, unfortunately. This working prototype is 100% going down. This one doesn't have to go down. I'm just trying to think what I want to do here. I think just actually, I think Maryland is maybe the card I want the most here. So what I do is I go MIC in a new remote to put the Maryland in server 6. Like, yes, getting a wage workers on the board is good, but I actually just want cards I can res for positive value here. I'll find other ways to keep going forward for a bit. Opponents finally realize that maybe the Asa player on 3 credits is not the most threatening thing in the world. Oh, am I getting Deep Dove? I wonder if I'm getting Deep Dove. Yep, it looks like I'm getting Deep Dove. But I don't mind Deep Dives too much here, especially because they only get an MIC. This tells me that I will just want to throw a Chrysium Grid on for value on a Central. So I'm going to res this Maryland campaign. Start the turn. I'm going to Maryland and then trash a card from HQ. Is this like, do I just throw out a Vitruvius here? I feel like I can throw out a Vitruvius here and be okay. Because I actually need some ice to keep moving, and I'm going to put a Spin Doctor down this turn, I think. So what is my turn? It's install Wage Workers, install Spin Doctor, or install an Agenda if I draw some ice. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is just a wild turn. I know Dove is the past tense of dive, but it feels like the past tense of deep dive is deep dived. Yeah, you're right. That is sort of how it feels. Yeah, Wage Workers 3 and install Daily Cast is 100% the line here. Okay, I'm just trying to think what the exact sequence is. Because I might actually just overwrite the Maryland immediately. So that I can, like, put the Ablative on HQ. No. Hey, D. Yeah, I am going to pop the casts. That's part of the turn here. Maybe I just don't score the Luminal this turn. I just build value on the board, right? So we go Wage Workers in the new remote. Just no Ace of Trigger. Res Wage Workers. Ablative on HQ just to slow it down a little bit. Nope. Spin Doctor in a new remote. Get the Wage Workers click. 5. Put the Daily Cast back on top. Okay. I can also just... Oh, am I supposed to just Biotic Labor a Luminal here? I feel like the answer is yes. right? Okay, cohort, I'm just gonna trash this ablative. It's biotic luminal and just keep cooking this board, I think. Oh, I don't have ice to score out of, but that's fine. We're gonna... Oh, God. No, that's not what we're gonna do. No, it is what we... okay. No, yeah, it's time to overwrite the Maryland. It's done its job. So we're gonna biotic labor, luminal server 6. Maryland campaign will be trash. We'll shuffle into R&D. We'll install Managarm on server 6. Then we're going to advance, score luminal. I'm gonna put Rashida in server 6. I have 4 clicks. I've done 1 install. I can install another cohort. Install another wage workers, which gains me another wage workers click. Then bounce daily casts again. Then fully op, draw 2 cards, gain 6 credits, and install an ablative on archives. Yeah, there is an agenda in the bin, Sad Stug. But I sort of felt like I have other things I can do efficiently here. We're gonna res this. We're gonna res this. And for our draw, we're gonna use Rashida first. Cohort Guidance Program, we're going to trash a card from HQ to cycle a card. Trash a card from HQ to cycle a card. Agenda now seems better than Rashida for agenda later. The reason I don't agree... Oh, did I just discard my biotic? When did I discard my biotic? Oh no, I used to score the something. Right. Okay, I for some reason thought I still had the biotic in my hand. That's basically why I went for this line. But I think that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna go... Install server 6. We'll just put a second MIC on it. Put down another spin doctor and a new remote. We're gonna put another draft. We're gonna put a drafter on HQ. And then I'm going to res a... I think I just res the Managarm. And then wage workers bounce the Nuka back to the top of the deck. Yeah, you're right, Sad Stug. If I install the Vitruvius, I probably just can win. But yeah, you're right. It totally would. Because I'd have 4 face downs. I would go cohort, advance the Vitruvius. No, it's kind of tricky. Advance it again so I can get a biotic labor back. But that doesn't, like, that just goes back and forth. That doesn't, I think, get me anything. Because install advance for my second advancement doesn't quite get there. I don't know, this is Prison D. My opponent can do anything they want. They've just decided to not do anything. So, okay. So, mandatory draw. We're going to use cohort. We're going to turn a Maryland face up to advance an off-world. We're going to turn Maryland. We're going to turn a ablative face up to advance an off-world. We're going to advance, score. We're going to use the Awful Office. We're now going to install the Vitruvius in server 6. I'm going to put an Ansel on the outside. I'm going to put a Gatekeeper on R&D. I mean, to be fair to my opponent, like this cohort they probably should deal with. This one's been around the entire game. It's very difficult for them to deal with it, right? But part of my theory is that the Lobosome decks have to actually high roll pretty well to get both the Lobosome down and an Econ thing rolling. Yeah, I can res this MIC. So it's 1, 2, 3. Yep. And now I can just pop the MIC and we're done. But let's do the other stuff. Can you imagine this board in person? Yes, I've played boards like this in person. It's a pain. But it's not that bad. Yeah, Jai, like, I think that's sort of... I do kind... Like, I don't think any Shaper is good against assets. I think the, like, Aesop... Well, I'm still yet to be impressed by an Aesop stack, frankly. I've been pretty happy with spec work, and I've been seeing some people cook with World Trees in ways that have been somewhat impressive to me. And like World Tree, I think should be a deck that can handle assets, right? In theory, I don't know if in practice it can, because like a single Amali Sinai bounce like absolutely wrecks you. But okay, this doesn't feel like. I play games like that, I'm like, oh, this deck feels great. I'm like, well, yeah, my opponent, like, didn't interact, so it feels fantastic. If we cut this Powers That Be, like, Powers That Be is big pop-off, but do we need big pop-off, or would we rather have a cohort and a corporate hospitality? My suspicion is that we'd rather have a corporate hospitality and a Powers That Be. And maybe we could have the third Spin Doctor. Yeah, I feel like 1x Aesops is pretty solid as well. Like, to me, so like I've been playing, I was like gonna keep this secret and like no one cares, right? So, this is sort of my current build for Shaper, and it's like the most cursed thing because it's 46 cards and 14 influence. And like the idea is that basically, hey, spec work just kicks ass. But what I was finding is I was still having muses and coalescences piling up a little bit, and so like a one of Aesops doesn't seem terrible. I think this deck is like, it's packing tech for like 3 different things, like the Mad Dash and the Valentina is a little bit much, and I don't know if Cataloger and Deep Dive go in the same deck. I think they do, but I'm not 100% on that. But this has felt like a pretty good kind of starting place to me. The Ika has only felt bad when I played against an Oops All Sentries deck out of Nuvem. Yeah, I think a 1x... Like, I do like the idea of a 1x Aesops, because you have 6 targets and only 3 spec works, and, like, you need to get the spec works going. The Gachapons I like just as an acceleration tool. It's funny, like, I've said, like, oh, I don't think Ari's going to play Ficera, and then I'm like, oh, actually, this card just, it does something that Botulus doesn't, and so it earns a slot that Botulus doesn't. I'm not going to play this tonight. I think what we might do is... Okay, I'm going to do... Actually, hold on. Let's do a copy of this. That's... let's cut the powers to be completely. We'll put in the cohort. We'll put in the spin. And we'll go. So Cold Lava, the reason I have no backup Fractor is because I have... well, I have two things. One is a problem, in that I don't like playing good cards. And two, I have 6 Simul Chips, so I don't know why I would need to run a second Fractor. And, yeah, Muse recurs from the... Like, this is why Muse is sick, is recurring from the heap is great. And, like, yeah, in theory, if I test a lot, I could see myself saying it doesn't work. But, you know, I haven't played that much. And in general, I'm like, hey, like, Propeller can get to Cleaver-like efficiencies against certain barrier setups. And I don't know what the barrier landscape looks like. Because it's like, oh yeah, Cleaver is saving me... Like, how many... Cleaver has to save me at least 2 credits to break even with Propeller. If I'm spending Influence on it, probably needs to break another 2 to 3 credits over the course of the game. And Propeller also, like, has synergies with Specwork and... Aesops, so, like, it's not the worst. Yeah, Toron, I think a second copy of Hush is a great include. Like, if we look at this list for a second, probably what I would do is cut the Mad Dash and cut the Valentina, because I haven't seen that many 5/3 only decks, and put in a Hush. That gets us to 45, 2 Influence, and we're in a good spot. My hesitation is that makes me really weak to like, that weakens my NBN matchups a little bit. Though I will, like, I think I haven't played against optimized NBN lists yet, but I've mostly played against people that are kind of like trying to figure out what R+ looks like. And sort of like at Cascadia at when the Automata Initiative released, I feel like Pichasau Arasana actually just dunks on R+, as long as you can get 1 environmental testing to resolve, maybe 2. I actually think this is a keepable hand. Because we've got 14 ice, right? We're going to top deck an ice here. Okay, we're going to go Wage Workers. Oh, shoot. Okay. New remote, done. Cohort, Rashida. No jailbreak HQ 1 time. No burner turn 1 time. Okay, 2 points out of HQ is fine here. It's actually probably completely good for me. It concerns you that there's no good brand solution. What are you talking about? Propeller, just use a full Propeller each time you need to break a brand. How many times could you possibly need to break a brand? No, I agree with you, Jai. I think if HB with lots of brands becomes a big part of the meta, is a huge problem for that deck, as I posted it, right? Okay, this is great. I get away with everything. Okay, so we're going to use Rashida first. We're going to draw 3 cards. I probably don't need Mavirus in this matchup. Okay, so I'm going to go... Part of me is like, do I want to keep the Wage Workers down? Hey, MXLU. It's this is a website called Jinteki.net. Let me copy and paste it in the chat. It is effectively the... Oh, actually, Sadstug beat me to it. In case it gets chopped off for some reason, we'll see if the Restream bot doesn't. It is the premier thing for playing Netrunner online. No, I think I do. So, like, there's part of me that's like, oh, I could not res the wage workers and keep more threats on the table, but I just want to install 3 cards this turn. And then I think we're going to fully operational, draw 2 cards, and gain 4 credits. So what is that? +3 and plus 2, like plus a card and +3, which is like a clearance kind of thing, I guess. But Pressure Spike sucks into Bran like every other breaker. Pressure Spikes breaks Bran for 5, which is okay. I mean, here's the thing. Propeller does break Bran for 3. It just only does it once. But that's okay. Breaking once is hopefully... Like, the thesis of the deck is probably against HB if they res a Bran. Again, you have 6 Simul chips, and you can hopefully win off a Deep Dive or a Cataloger, right? Okay, yeah, if a lot of people... I have not seen a lot of Sokka Ag. I think Sokka Ag is a great deck, so I would not be surprised to see it. This is going to feel very good. Okay. Yes. Then we will turn a virus face up. Then I'm going to advance this 3 times. Score it. Do I want the Luminal? I think I want the Luminal. And I want to go a little bit cheap. Yeah. So I think it's going to be Drafter Luminal. Yeah, so my theory here is basically I have to outspeed the kit deck, and like I do seem decently situated if they like play if they're playing lots of like burner and trick shots. Like a trick shot here is very, very good for Lucille. Yeah, Aksu, nothing does break. Like, yeah, Brand is just like, it's funny. I'm like, part of me is like, oh, I really hope we get a Cleaver ban, but I think you might have to ban Bran if you ban Cleaver. Which is a wild thing to say, but I think it's basically like Cleaver was made for, or Bran was kind of made for a paperclip meta. I think is basically what it comes down to. Okay, what am I trashing from HQ here? Is it a Spin Doctor? I feel like it's a Spin Doctor. Yeah, Cold Lava. I should be back on. Because I took out the powers that be, I should be back on Ikoa. This is just an artifact of me. So actually that would make the deck way better, and we should build that one quickly. Okay, so we're gonna go off-world in server 4 with a Managarm. We're going to put down... I think I want to put down the second Wage Workers behind the Drafter, just in case Lucille gets a trick shot. Then we're going to put down a working Prototype. And then we're going to put down a Spin Doctor. And then we're going to click for a credit. And we did... Let's see, we did 3 advancement game actions. And then we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 installs plus a credit. Luminal is totally fair and balanced. I think 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, actually 9. Is the Chrysium just knife tech? Chrysium is because chat told me that Chrysium was good. I kind of believe it. Like, Crucium on HQ against Shaper is not a nothing burger here, right? We get to stuff Burner. We get to stuff Deep Dives. Which I think is like a real thing we care about. I think the Wage Workers is going to die here too. Cataloger against Shaper as well is very good because Cataloger does rely on the run being successful. And it gets us, like, it's just like some Ace of Value stuff as well, right? Alright, where are we pinholing to? Probably the Managarm. But yeah, I don't know, this is, yeah. Second one has to be one of them does. Second one cannot be an agenda. Okay, so Drafter is going to be 3 to break. Gatekeeper is going to be more to break, so this is okay. I can even let this Gatekeeper install an off-world office and still score out and just give up 2 points here. Oh, is that actually correct? Holy shit, that's actually the correct line, too. Yeah, no, I actually give up this off-world office now. So that I can get the second off-world, like I just give up this off-world office and score this one from my hand instead. Because I can't actually score this if I res the Gatekeeper, because credits are a thing. Oh, well, opponent's too good for that apparently. So we're gonna add a Foliot back to hand. So this is boost, boost, and break the Gatekeeper, so they're credit perfect here. Which makes me wonder if I just don't bother resing at all, right? Are you guys supposed to add the Managarm back to hand? Boost, boost, break. I draw 3. So other things I was thinking about there is if I res Gatekeeper working prototype and the Spin Doctor, I get to click the working prototype 3 times and then still install an agenda. Well, I think here I can just go... we're still only on 3 credits. I can't really do that again. I guess I kind of could though, right? Let's get some cards in my hand with the Spin Doctor here. If I'm going to do that, do I want the working prototype res? Part of me wants to just put down 2 agendas so I can fully opt for a stupid amount of money. I don't actually get to fully opt for that much money, but I think I'm able to fully opt for enough. Okay. Gain, what is that? Gain 7 feels okay. Yeah, I think not resing on this was a bit of a mistake. Not resing the working prototype, because I think I could, like, force a bounce of stuff. Like, I think I'm ahead, but I don't feel like I've, like, got it won yet, which is annoying. I guess Drafter lets me put a Manigarm in server 4 here. Unless we get Orca down in the next 2 clicks. Okay, I'm going to res the working prototype now. So I think I have enough. Oh, I don't. That's amusing. If I have to res the Gatekeeper, I can click working prototype 3 times. Which I guess is going to be my play next turn. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 to break. And then Lucille needs to decide if she wants me to get a Manigarm back. Okay. Yep. I'll give up 2 points here. It's maybe a little greedy for me to go for it. Having wage workers in server 5 is, I think, going to turn out to be quite important here. Okay. Void is a very good draw. It means if I can survive another turn or 2, I'm probably good to win. Yeah, so it's probably going to look something like Spin Doctor draw and try and get a win off that. I can't quite Biotic out any of my agendas right now. If I go to the Ikawa, do I cut the Biotic or not? I think it's an interesting question. Because I guess it means I can just Biotic out to 4 and then push the Ikawa, but I suspect that's not as good as, like, doing the 2x active policing that Sid is doing. I like how I've just basically gone back to running Sid's deck. But you know what? He's a pretty good player, so I probably shouldn't be too miffed about that. We've made a couple small changes. I forget, was he on hospitality? Warm reception? Yeah, he was. I think this is a little too cute. Maybe with Midnight 3, like, I had been playing versions without Midnight 3 and felt like it was pretty cuttable. Maybe with Midnight 3 it's good. But it still feels pretty win more to me. I'll res the Spin Doctor here. I think nothing in Archives wins me the game here, so I think I'm okay with letting this get trashed. Drawing the Anoetic is good. Okay, Cataloger is very not good. I'm gonna have to do something like double ablative on R&D. I can't lose this turn, but I can come pretty damn close. No. My opponent should just run back here if they found an agenda, though. Yeah, Christium is not looking bad for R&D here. Let's go server 4, server 4, and I'm just going to click working prototype for 3 here, I think. Yeah, 5 ice rows before any centrals was definitely a little ambitious. I think it's not going to kill me here, because Ablative Barrier Chrism Crid into Spin Doctor is very, very good. Because it lets me put a Spin Doctor down on the table. If Lucille went agenda, non-agenda, agenda, I should just draw the Spin Doctor. I'll have 2 in hand. So maybe I should have put an ablative on HQ there as well. Instead of install. Yeah, I think Lucille is recognizing that ablative on R&D basically means you need to have a hush, but you can't really run hush in Labasome. Or Labasome. Labasome. Which is going to my benefit here slightly. But yeah, this is a 6-6 game that felt like I should have run away with it a little bit more than I did, I think. Yeah, so we've actually, like, this is an interesting thing to think about, right? There's been 28 cards drawn, and there's been 12 points. So there's 8 points distributed between the 2 cards in HQ, the 3 face downs, plus the archives. So that's 4 face downs. You know, reasonably a lot of points are in R&D here. Okay, so all right, Lucille, I think this is not quite the correct line. I haven't actually drawn, like, I mean, honestly, my midnight on the MIC server was just a bit of a mistake, I think. I guess the thinking was she wouldn't go after both servers, right? And I would trade 2 points for 2 points because that was going to be good for me. So I'm going to res ablative barrier. I'm going to put a Spin Doctor in server 8. Done. I think I have to res the spin here. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, I was supposed to put the spin behind the drafter. I might even go double ablative on R&D this turn. I might even want to pop the Spin Doctor before draw here, because I need to draw an agenda to win. Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming this deck runs pinholes, right? We've seen one, so there's probably a second. So it might be like a ablative. Ablative on Centrals doesn't work against pinhole. Yeah, it does seem like chat was right about Chrysium. Seems like it's probably just saved me having to pop a Spin Doctor needlessly. Let's put back a Spin Doctor and Rashida. I guess I wasn't supposed to pop that Spin Doctor yet. I was supposed to pop it here, so that there would only be at most one click on R&D. Because I've just given Lucille a second shot on R&D. Oh, you don't want to install that Mystic, Lucille, I don't think. Because we're going to go draw 2 cards, gain 6. Oh, did I really lose JNet connection again? Okay. Working prototype, bounce the Mystic, and Vitruvius on server 4. Yeah, I actually think the best plan for Lucille here is probably click for... Oh no, yeah. Click for a credit to get to... So they can run R&D. They actually can't run R&D 3 times this turn, which is what they need to do to get the cataloger option. Yeah, this deck 100% wants to be on Ikoa and winning on 3 scores. So let's do the fix to this deck to make it run Ikoas. Which I think is you cut the Vitruviuses, you put in 2 Ikoas. I think we cut the Biotic, and I'm going to just go to 2 corporate hospitalities, just to get a little bit, hopefully slightly more consistent econ in. Not ever being able to trigger on operations. Yeah, this is what's in my archives here, Ahmad. I'm assuming that's what you're asking for. It's Rashida, a virus, a cohort, a Manic Arm, and 2 fully ops. Alrighty. Let's not use that as a pejorative. That is not cool. If anyone in the chat has mod powers, let me know. Otherwise, I'll go and... oh, that's the other thing. Cool, cool, cool. Let me go and figure out if I can do this. Take your time. Why can I not see my own stream on my frickin' account? Okay. Apologies, it's gonna be a tiny second to double speak. Report. And remove. Yeah, I mean, I lose like a not insignificant amount of time off of a single on R&D. Yeah, so I get lucky here that Cataloger costs 2 clicks. Oh, Oxu, while you're here, how do you feel about being a mod on my YouTube channel? There you go. Welcome. You now have to attend all my things. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to... Because I think Lucille having even, like, a dirty laundry loses me the game. So I'm supposed to put, like, an MIC down. Yeah, so that was a misplay. There was some misallocation of ice. Can I make custom YouTube icons? I made like endurance and ob icons for Twitch, which, to be honest, I don't think anyone knows about. I also don't know how they would turn up and restream. I expect they wouldn't. But I probably should also make an Arasana frog emote. Hey, Lucille, thanks for the game. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to run out on you. Just wanted to get a little bit more gaming in before I called it a night, because I might do only a 2.5-hour streams. Yeah, I was realizing I'm supposed to install the Vitruvius and then install ice on HQ, or on R&D there, because I need you to not win the game there. Can we keep this hand? I think we can keep this hand, right? It's like ablative on HQ, installed 2 wage workers. And we actually don't res anything. Yep, no need to res anything here. Wage, my life is right there. Yeah, I'll trash. I don't need this ablative, that's fine. This is what I have ablated corporate hospitality for. Yeah. No cope, just corporate hospitality and an ablative barrier back into my hand. And let's just... Should I just double ice HQ? No, I want this ice. I'll just put the gatekeeper on HQ, I think. So I think my opponent's going for like a window of opportunity D-res deck, if I had to make a guess. I think we'll just play conservatively with our ice reses and then just fully operational like 20 credits and probably be okay. Also, our ice is pretty cheap. And corporate hospitality actually felt pretty good there. Do I want to res this gatekeeper? Yeah, I would like to draw an agenda next turn. And I'll have fully operational. I'll have things. So. Perfect. Oh, that's such a nice draw for me. Okay. Start the turn. Another piece of ice is what I really want, but, you know, you can only do so much. Res. Midnight behind the ablative. Marilyn. Rashida. And then we're just going to green beans it. So I need to remember that the ablative costs 4 here. Is my opponent going to go after both wage workers? I don't think so. If they trash the Rashida and the Maryland, I'm a little bit annoyed, for sure. Yeah, there was a line with clicking the prototype, I think. But I think I'd like, now I'm probably more okay with oh shoot, I miscounted my clicks. I forgot I had a yeah, my thinking is generally I want to try and avoid the wage workers res for a moment, but maybe that's wrong. Especially because the Xanadu is down. Okay, so this score I get, I guess. Maybe I don't scoreless this turn, though. Bouncing Xanadu does seem quite good here, yeah. Okay, so I can do triple install here. Oh shit. This is like a silly ass play, but this is the line, I think. Which is res Rashida, trash wage workers, res wage workers, click working prototype, and add Xanadu to the top of the deck. I think that's the line. It might not have been the correct line. Okay, I feel like I would like a fully operational back in my deck. And I'd like a wage workers back in my deck. But like I can kind of get away with some stuff with the corporate. Okay, Corroder's coming down, Revolver's coming down, Midnight 3 is finally going down, I think. What? Okay, so should I res this drafter here? Is a very interesting question. What do I get off of this drafter? Oh, I just get another Rashida. So yes, I do res this drafter. Oh no, I don't. Oh shoot, I'm not supposed to res that drafter there. Oh well, whatever. Boom, 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 score, and the turn. Alright, so I'm going to lose the working prototype. I'm probably... Oh, actually, yeah, no, I should lose the working prototype here, but I think I'll be okay. Okay, so I think it's cohort behind the ablative. I think I'm just not getting wage workers value this turn. I am at threat 4, so... Wait, is that what I want to do? No. No, I'm not installing deep ice here. I'm going something like cohort server 3, server 9, R&D, and then click for 3. I could res this cohort. I don't think I want to here. Do I res the drafter here? It uses up more bullets. I can't res the cohort though. I think the cohort's probably better here. Oh, don't run last click against HB, though. Why would you do that? You could break for 1 with Corroder? I'm not going to object to you not. Okay, we're gonna trash... I think we're gonna trash the wage workers. Okay, that's pretty solid. Yeah, worth it for the 2 credits for sure. I don't really want to score the Ikoa here, but I kind of feel like I want to score the Ikoa here. I have to be a little bit careful with resin cart this turn. More so because of Los, right? Oh, it's first time? Okay, so... should I discard the Ansel, or should I just not do anything with the second cohort? I think I'm supposed to not do anything with the second cohort. Because I think the Ansel is probably part of my scoring plan here. On 2 credits, if I res the drafter, they can break it. And so I think my money is more valuable. Cat's Cradle comes down. Okay, 6 credits. Frustratingly, I have another hand where I can't trash anything. Oh my goodness, I still have a hand where I can't trash anything. Let's draw 2 cards. Let's draw another 2 cards. Let's gain more credits. I mean, it's just put the Ikoa down. Is Drafter better than my other cards here? I I think Drafter is probably better than Ansel. And I'm going to click for a credit. And I'm going to discard the Manic Arm and the Chrysium. Let's discard the Ansel and the Chrysium. Xanadu comes down. Okay. Credit, credit. Tread lightly, and we're absolutely fine, and we don't care at all about what they do here. Very nice. Alright, and now we get to go and say, even if you trash the wage workers, it wouldn't do anything. Cohort Guidance Program. Turn face down, face up. Turn face down, face up. And advance, 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 score. GG. Alright. Okay, that was 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Yeah, we'll do another one. I don't think anything felt worse there, except for the fact that we did just draw exclusively agendas. So it does feel a little bit scary that that deck felt so close against Los. Thanos. No, flipping archives would not have done it for them. Because we had the second cohort, we could trash a card from our hand with the first cohort, advance it once with the second, and then 4 advance with the wage workers. I think this is a playable hand. It's not quite the best, but it's playable. Because we'll just start using cohort for value, I think. I think brand on R&D is where I want it. There's an argument to be made that I shouldn't res the wage workers there. Or that I should, because like actually putting the Spin Doctor gives me a lot more control over what my cohort does. Yeah, Poiter, I think it is a little bit. I'm not 100% sure on how. I have gotten a lot of advancements down. I'm not sure that's because people are not used to the play patterns yet. Like I suspect it's a card where its value in the cut goes down a little bit. But that's where having 2 of them goes back up, because it still ends up working like a wage workers then. So I don't know. But yeah, Jason, this is I've really liked this deck. I'm trying some small modifications, but like they're really quite small. The deck feels like it's in a very good place. Okay, do I res this drafter? I don't think I do. I think I let my opponent spend 2 here. It stinks, but I think it's what I have to do. Yeah, whereas I think this is going to be click for 3 credits, and then Spin Doctor the MIC. This is probably some version of Aesop's Lat. Which I don't think is going to be that good into us. I might be wrong about that, but my sense is that the deck is a little bit slow. I only get 1 Anoetic here, so there's definitely some blowouts. And it's costing me 7, like it's costing me all of my credits one time, which seems not great. Okay. So triple advanced voluminal score. I think it's credit, ablative on R&D. Yeah, my draw is definitely is feeling a little too slow. Drawing him a virus here would be very good. I might even just manually purge. Which seems weird into me saying I'm too slow. But I think my opponent gaining 8 is too much. I don't know, that does seem kind of wrong. No, I actually don't think it is. We're going to purge here. Gain 8 is too good of a turn for my opponent. It's just an entire like turns worth of eco. It's 3 Aesop's triggers for them in the click, so I think it's okay to deny. Because now I get to use some of my own tempo here. And this is probably Manic Arm analytic to stuff rather than anything else. Opponent should actually be able to go after this, so maybe this is a mistake. Yeah, I think this is probably a mistake. It's probably a blade, like I'm probably spending ablative, Manic Arm, and analytic to keep them out this turn, and then clicking for 3 and giving up the agenda next turn. Or click for 2 and draw a card. If my opponent chooses to let this through, that's fantastic for me. Alright, that probably is enough for me to win the game. There's a line where instead of going for this aggressive agenda score, I build out the cohort and try and start cycling stuff because the ablative's not going to be good for that long. Okay, so res ablative. Oh, I'm not at threat. That's annoying. But still, opponent has to actually go and find Real Breaker here, pop SMC, pop some tools. Cleaver comes down, they break. We'll res Manic Arm, we'll res Analytic Void. We'll resolve Manic Arm first. Okay. So I have to choose here on how to do this. Draw, credit, I think is my line. I'm not threatening the score, I guess, which is why I should have done credit. Yeah, without threatening the score, my opponent actually has lots of time to react here and to think about better lines. I actually need to just top deck a Spin Doctor here. My one of Spin Doctor left. Yeah, fully up also works. So I spend 5. Yeah. I'm gonna do this. Okay, that's pretty reasonable. So part of me wants to say, oh, I should use the drafter here, but I think my opponent's smart enough to leave the Pelonki on the table. So they're just going to get this one, I think. Yeah. Well, now I'm just fucked. Okay. Yeah, mistakes were made this game. Mistakes were made. They're gonna be a little bit difficult to pull out of as well. I think there's still not much point to resing the drafter here. I can get them to spend 4 on the wage workers. Like, credit denial is still a part of my game plan here. Let's draw once. Let's draw again. And let's draw again. Okay, corporate hospitality, if it stays in my hand, is good, but I don't think it's going to. I think opponent's going to run HQ a couple times here. Alright, they're choosing not to, which is good. So I could, like, really try and force a line here, right? Where I do something like corporate hospitality, which goes +2. Grab the Managarm, and then Managarm off-world in the remote. But I don't think that actually is very good for me. I think I want to look at something like Cohort in a new remote behind a Gatekeeper. Ansel on HQ, and click for a credit. So I'll shuffle back Spin Doctor. And I kind of want to be greedy and shuffle back the Analytic Void here. No, I don't need to shuffle back the Void or the Managarm, so let's not like just give up free points if we don't have to. The Ablative on R&D will eventually be live. Yeah, I can res this Gatekeeper, I think. It is a lot of money if they want to break it. If they do, I think I'm okay with trading 7 credits. Right? 6, 7, yeah. So we'd be trading 9 for 3. I think that's okay. It means my next turn is probably something just like credit corporate hospitality, grabbing back a Rashida or something. I could actually grab the Managarm. I feel like that's fine. Yeah, I think I kind of need to fully corporate hospitality for Rashida, just to kind of stay in this here. Gain a credit, corporate hospitality, and put Rashida back in the hand. This is okay. If they go in next click, I probably res. Because then they have to make bad choices. Yeah. Oh, Ablative is nice here. Let's put a face down in server 1 here, I think. This is basically the Sid 7 deck here with Maxima, and this game I'm not playing it particularly well, to be honest. I think I have to pick my battle between which of these two I want to res, which is not ideal. It's probably this one. But yeah, this might be one I want to go and look at the replay of, just to figure out where this went so wrong. And I honestly think it might have been doing the Manic Arm and Void in the remote. I think if it's just the Manic Arm, I can give it up, but... Okay. Let's trash... I think the Gatekeeper is less essential here. Yeah, I think that's actually a good shout out. That Resing the Wage Workers turn 1 was probably one of the critical mistakes here. Okay, so the question is, do I Void in server 3? Manic Arm in server 3 is probably cheaper, right? Actually, I don't really have enough credits to res this stuff. So it might be fully up, and then... like... Maryland Mavirus in server 3. I wonder if I almost don't want to sell them a virus just to... just to actually make sure they don't run. Yeah, no, Peter, they definitely are playing this pretty well. Yeah, at some point I should be bleeding points out the top of R&D here, but I'm getting fairly lucky. Okay. This seems like a good fully op. Draw 2 cards. Gain 6. MIC Gatekeeper. It's maybe a good enough server. The reason I think it's a good enough server is I'll have them a virus go on the Palongi. It's probably not quite good enough, but it's it's close. 17 means I'm relatively stable on credits. I guess actually I was supposed to overwrite the Maryland. It's like a lot of credits I'm losing, but that's probably actually correct. Opponent can just also run archives here, which stops us from scoring for a turn, which is probably okay. Means we go something like advance the off-world, put down a Manic Arm, put down a Rashida. Oh, this might be the first lat value they get. Yeah, 6 points score with 12 cards left in R&D is not what you want to see for sure. Okay, I think this is Res Ansel, Resmavirus, Purge. Because I have double barriers on the servers that count here. So I want opponent to have to spend quite a bit of resources here. Funny how I just said, oh, 17 credits, that's so many, and then I immediately go and spend 9 for a single Ansel fire. And it's probably just a click through the Ansel. I guess actually it has to be a click through the Ansel, which actually is probably great for me. If it's not a click through the Ansel, I'm extremely happy, because I will definitely trash the Cleaver if presented with the opportunity. Yeah. Okay, great. This is, yeah, never mind. That Ansel, okay, I spent 9 to protect, basically, I spent 9 to score everything there. Okay, so Cohort Guidance Program, we're going to turn a face-down Maryland onto this off-world. And then we're going to advance, and score. And trash this Chrysium Grid. Okay, and then it's just install Ikoa Manic Arm. And then advance. Because I can't actually trust that this cohort stays alive. Or that the cohort protects the Ikoa, right? Chrysium made it onto the table once so far tonight, Nemo. It did win me the game, but I think better play would have also won me that game. So we're going to trash a Rashida from our hand. Yeah, I think that's 100% correct. So we're going to go... no, my turn is fixed here. Advance. End the turn. Yeah, I mean, so, like, there's... In this game, we're just going to score Ikoa the normal way, I think. Oh, maybe I can't. I maybe screwed this up. If they get out a Buzzsaw, I think I can score the Ikoa. Oh, now I definitely can score the Ikoa. That's GG. Yeah. So MIC works really, really well with Ikoa. It's also the reason this deck is sometimes running active policing. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's going to get them there. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's enough for them, I think, with Buzzsaw. Yeah, so that's the Buzzsaw. It's 3 to boost. Yeah, wow. Okay, if they don't have the Pinhole, I do win there, but with the Pinhole, they have me. Right? 3, 4. Yeah, they have it by a credit. Ugh. That's devastating. I guess they have it by 2 credits, right? Oh, they also need overclock. Yeah, so their hand needs to have pinhole and overclock in it. Yeah, I guess maybe the alternative is install Ikawa and the Managarm, install the Drafter, and then advance it 1 time. Which means I'm not safe if they they can run Archives to stop the score, right? Yeah, let's go back. Let me just look at the first couple turns there, because that was a game I don't think I had to lose. Yeah, okay, so if my turn is instead, install this Cohort Drafter, install Spin Doctor, click for a credit. How different does that feel? So I probably still let this fire. I don't have the Spin Doctor on the table. I let the Cohort get trashed. Spin Doctor, I'm like deeper in my deck. I'm not clicking for credits here. Yeah, this is just bad. Like, this is actually just bad. Yeah, getting that Spin Doctor trashed actually, I think, really hurt me here. I think this is supposed to be actually, like... Yeah, I don't know if this Purge... In retrospect, this Purge was maybe not... I don't know, the Purge doesn't feel that bad in retrospect. This was the mistake, I think. Or this is like a very clear mistake. I think the Wage Workers turn 1 was a big mistake as well. But this is supposed to be draw another 2 cards here. I'm supposed to draw 2 more cards here. Because server 1 is not a scoring server yet. And I don't know why I'm treating it like one. It is, like, just absolutely not. So this is... Okay. I, like, torped my own tempo a couple of times that game, and that makes me feel a little bit better about it going the way it did. Alright. I'd like to go out on a win. We'll see if that can happen. But... yeah, without knowing their exact hand composition. Like, this is one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, I think what the line I took was generally correct. It was not specifically correct into that hand. And it's the, like, okay, do I have a line that's correct against every hand? And I don't think I did. But... this is not a great hand. Whereas this is a pretty good one, so... Part of me is like, no, I just do Rashida MIC Maryland, click for a credit. Oh, that's actually a fantastic draw. Probably gonna get pinholed here. Just like the way my games go. I don't think I ever don't get pinholed turn 1 here. Okay, Lily Pad, so this is 100% Aesops. If we needed even more confirmation, it was Aesops. There we have it. Okay. Oh, this is really weird. Oh, I missed that this was 48 card lat. Okay. So... I feel like I want to stabilize my econ with a turn that's something like All-Fourth Office MIC, Advance, Install Rashida. The other option is Luminal MIC, install Rashida. Click for a credit. And I'm probably not firing the Rashida. So if I'm not firing the Rashida, should I leave it in my hand and go Off-World Office Managarm MIC Advance? No. It might be Off-World Office MIC click for a credit advance. No. With Rashida, Luminal is probably better. I think you're right, Jai. Luminal, Skunkworks, Rashida. So the question now is, do I put the MIC on the Rashida, or do I put it on the Luminal? Okay, we'll give this a shot. What am I worried about here? What is the line that gets lat into server 1 strongly and consistently here? It's something like spec work fully, spec work, or like overclock SMC, I think is the line I'm worried about there. Of course, we're going to get the off-world. Wow, we did not get the off-world. That's great for me. Okay, this is a good turn. Advance. Score. Who needs other cards when you've got draws like this? So this is going to be double install a cohort and install the off-world office. Opponent's on 5 credits next turn. I think Ablative Managarm is good enough. So, like, I could do Off-World Office behind the Gatekeeper instead. Actually, do I like that more? Do I think that Off-World Office behind the MIC is safer than Ablative Managarm? I don't think so. Man, it feels right to me to put the Off-World Office here. It feels right to have my office not in the same server as my Managarm. Alright, my opponents just decided to trash stuff off of R&D, even though I'm pretty clearly showing that this game's not in R&D. Oh, but Cohort staying on the Managarm is the issue. Yep, that's a good shout. Okay, so Cohort Guidance Program unfortunately needs to trash the Anoetic Void. Cohort Guidance Program needs to turn the Anoetic Void face up, which is like a huge thing to be missing here. Okay, so we're gonna just next turn. Do I have to throw away the? Yeah, I have to throw away the Ablative if I'm throwing away anything from this hand. And then hopefully I'm throwing away the next card as well. Opponent should like draw, install. Okay, Echelon's a weird install here. I wonder. So if this is, okay, no, this isn't Peter. Throw out the off-world install spin. Oh, because we're just gonna try and score. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that. I don't want to draw this Maryland. I think I'm gonna throw out the Ablative here. Now we'll shuffle the Maryland. I mean, I think I have to score, basically. I like should ice a central server. right? I should ice the central server here. Okay, this is good. Yeah, Jason, I'll admit, like, I've been playing versions of this deck, and I had swapped the Midnights for Vitruvius's, and, like, I'm now realizing just, like, that was completely wrong. Oh, I guess, yeah, milling is the same as not milling there. So it's actually better to get a card and a credit than to turn that face down, but whatever. I'll score this. I mean, the Ikoa is still the safest thing for me to put in that server, I think. No, Managarm is actually better. Having my HQ be harder to get through is good enough. I'll put... So this costs 6, 5. Yeah, we'll put an MIC there. And I don't need to discard. Yeah, like sometimes I was like for Vitruvius thing for a fully op, but I think if you're gonna do Vitruvius stuff, you really want like Biotic Labors and stuff. And I think Biotic Labor, Vitruvius, Cohort is like, it's just there's a little bit too much going on. Maybe if someone finds something with the powers that be, I think that would be the thing that makes sense. But yeah, this is more in line with what I've seen with a lot of these games, where it ends on turn. This is actually going to be the fastest game I think I've played with this deck. Oh, actually, opponent can maybe get in here. I think they can. Yeah, Jai, I suspect there is a build with Vitruvius. To some extent, I think it just looks very different from this. So what opponent's supposed to do is... Or, okay, no. Opponent can still do this. Oh, they're doing this incorrectly. I guess they're not really doing it incorrectly. It's fine. They should be fetching their barrier breaker here. I guess they still will, right? So they actually get in here. So I guess it is Rashida in a new remote. Behind a gatekeeper. Oh no, they don't get in here because they don't have enough credits on their SMC unless they're like me and playing Propeller. That's why it was better to go the other way around. Yeah, if they're on Propeller, they own me to the moon here. If they're not on Propeller, we win. I'm not sure how I feel. I feel like environmental testing and ASOPs don't go that well together, though. It's like one of my concerns about the way I see people usually build this decks. Okay, yeah, opponent did make a mistake. So, Poiter, unfortunately, I can't... Ablative Barrier says install in another server, so I can't overwrite the Midnight 3 Arcology. And I say this because very specifically in playtesting, this was a thing that we realized Ablative could do, and we decided that was not allowed in the game of Netrunner. So, like, that was just going to be too illegally good. But yeah, but that was turn 7. So like that's why this deck I think is kind of sick. I guess I keep going with like, oh, there's kind of 2 flexible influence here. Should you play a 1 of your digital life? Like, cut the Chrysium and play a YDL in its spot. Cohort Guidance Program is just so... like, it's good. I'm not sure if it's broken. It's just good. It's very good in this deck. Right? Yeah, that's my suspicion too, Jason, is like it doesn't actually help you win when you're behind. Which is like generally my thought on YDL overall. The good decks for YDL are CI and I'm already winning decks. Maybe those like NBN king making decks, but I'm not sold that those are real decks yet. Peter, I think it hasn't found a home in Jinteki yet because no one's really tried to build it yet. I also think Cohorts is like 3 steps better than Banker's Group. Really? Because you can ice it and it just does more things. Jai, I don't know how well does my usual stream time work? Like if I did like an hour of just regular stream and then you wanted to join and we talk about Shaper, I'd be happy to do that. Let me very quickly say why I think ASOPs and environmental testing don't go too well together. Which is basically the things that I've seen consistently get me like to me, it's basically environmental testing and ASOPs are doing fundamentally different things for how you want to construct your deck. Environmental testing is saying, I want to get several cheap cards down in the next 2 turns. ASOPs is saying, I want to get a value piece down once per turn, and across 4 turns I'll have made those credits back. And what I see with environmental testing and ASOPs both being installed at the same time is that if you're playing 3 of ASOPs and 3 of environmental testing, you end up with these collisions where you have nothing that, like, you're bored, you just kind of thrown down 3. Like, oh, you know what, Jai? Let's make some plans and we'll do a weekend stream next weekend. If that works for you, because next weekend's probably a good time for me. Yeah, basically, like, my thesis is basically, if you're installing an ASOPs and environmental testing, you're sinking 4 credits on these will pay me out later. And if you're spending 2 clicks and 4 credits on these will pay me out later, and also spending 6 card slots on that, yeah, Jai, I mean more something like 12 hours from now would be kind of the idea. So, Jason, the question, is it anywhere as near as good as Kit? Like, I'm not sure. I still have this, like, theory that, like, honestly, your deck does a pretty good job into Kit. Like, these kind of asset-y decks are oh, yeah. Okay, Jai. Well, instead of me planning on stream, we should just get in Discord DMs and hash out a good time for everyone, I think. But yeah, so, like, my theory, and I don't know that this is true, right, is that Ice is probably in a little bit of a worse space with Kit being in the meta, but like Corpse can punish it with assets, and they can still punish it with like Sentry and Barrier heavy Ice Suites. Like they have to spark into Orca and spark into Lobosome is kind of a challenge. So yeah, I think Corpse that can challenge money is like going to be one of the central things in this meta. And like, you know, having 16 assets, which basically all are must trashes, I think is a good way to challenge money. And 5 upgrades that are mostly must trashes, right? I'll say, like, I haven't tested this matchup extensively, but I think Stavron Ob can also just have like an 80%, like can do very well against Kit, because you can just install your Stavka and you don't need to fire it until they've used up their Kit trigger. So you can just go something like Stavka Innermost, next ice kind of go, Stavka Innermost, next ice go, 2 Stavkas on one on your scoring remote, 1 on R&D, and I actually don't know that the Kit deck can Ashen and reset in time for the rush obs. Poiter, I have not looked at Lobosome, Orca, Kit, or I have not looked at Atea yet. I would say maybe next week we'll look at it. I'm terrible at remembering those sort of things, but it might be a fun time to check it out, because I do think Cohort Guidance Program is fantastic for Atea. Right, so like, here's what we'll do. We'll quickly make the Atea deck now, because I do actually want to get some sleep this week. Aren't they on Flip Switch? I mean, if they're on Flip Switch, okay, right? They still have to gear check, right? Tucana Tributary Ob messes up Kit as well. Actually, that's a good point too, is Tributary really screws with Kit as well, Ja. And so, Ja, didn't you took something like this to a high placing, right? You were AMT... Oh, with Nuvum. Okay, never mind. Oh, we have to tell him to update the things, right? Augustus was playing Hollow Op. I'm not sure... Like, I get that Hollow Man is, like, the busted card everyone's excited about. I don't know that he's that good here. I should play this deck before I knock it, though. To me, though, this agenda suite, I really want to explore with Op, but I want to explore it with Seamless Launch rather than Hollow Man. I think that's going to be just more consistent. But yeah, this is not Rikoko. Yeah, this is the list. This is a list. This is like a list that I would play, because I'm not like gonna all in on Rikoko, but I'm just gonna play it with Seamless Launch instead of Hollow Man's, because I think I can get more bang for my buck that way. Yeah, Jai, that's basically what I want to go and try, is taking the Beebloom deck and play it, swap out the SDSs for Basalt Spires. Yeah, Basalt is a very, very good card. And I'm like, yeah, it's like, but this list is a great start. It's like, honestly, the changes, okay, 3 Stavkas seems a little excessive, but maybe it's not. Yeah, this is an interesting one to look at, though. Okay. But anyways, we're looking at Atea. The thing I want to do is I think we still want 3 Cohort Guidance Programs. I think we also want Charlotte Casadore, probably as a 2x. We want Lacostas, and we want Biovaults. Right? Maybe we could do 3 Charlottes. Okay, and then we need to figure out... yeah, because the idea is that Cohort can advance the Charlotte, and then we get to just like Why Atea?
Welcome
because chat asked for a Taya. This is probably better. Well, okay. Here's the like justifiable the better reason, because like Agni Fusion is probably going to do this better, right? But Atea is going to set this up a little bit more smoothly, but I don't know that it's better, right? But yeah, this is not really an Agni Fusion idea. Okay, so the question now is, do I want to play Tributary, or do I want to play Sisyphus Protocol? I feel like they both mess up Kit, right? A little bit. They're not great against Kit, but I think honestly our answer against Kit is like we play 2 Tatu Bolas and they have an efficient breaker, but that's okay, right? So like, let's start with like some auto-includes for the meta, which is going to include the Saxophone Squid, Vampire Nasa. I think we want 1 Cloud Eater. I think we're okay with 3 Nazis here. Do we want Tributary? I actually think... Okay, this is going to be like Ambition the deck, right? Oh, this is annoying. I forget that this is an annoying setup. You don't think Charlotte and Cohort go in the same deck? Why not? Why not, Nemo? I feel like you actually... Because this is... We have multiple ways now of triggering Charlotte. Like, so... The idea is... Okay. Let me think about what... So... Sisyphus... Off-World Office... And then, like, Bacterials... Cut a Sisyphus... And... Ugh, no. Cut a Bacterial. Play a Longevity. And we're going to play some DRMs. Okay, now we can do some stuff like border control. Actually, no, it's probably just brands, right? Even with Kit playing an efficient breaker. Two brands, 2 Tatu Bolas, and then we just go and load up on other good Jinteki ice. No, so, Nemo, the idea is that you have Charlotte Lacosta in your main server and Cohort in your second server. The Cohort's Mightless, Kyle Lacosta. Yeah, that's definitely an option if we feel like we need to get there. Okay, now I need to find some additional good cards to play. Do I want... I feel like actually a 1-of Bathonimus might be a faction staple. We could play a frickin' 1-of Lotus Field just to be annoying to the Seb players out there. I feel like a Thimble Rig's probably good. I guess we could still play a Tributary, right? Like, it is just a very good ice. Maybe even 2. I don't think we want Bodo. It's bad. We want a second Thimble? Probably not, right? I want like another taxing ice. Oh, is it Seisenton? Is it Seisenton over a tributary? Okay, so we have 6 influence we should spend to make this deck better. It's probably Seamless Launch, right? And then we cut some cards. Are there other ice upgrades? Like, do we actually want drafters over some of this? Like Seisenton's, for example. Actually, yeah, maybe drafters over Seisenton is good. So we don't actually do any damage here. Oh, Manic Arms is probably good. Yeah, okay. 2. Yeah. Okay, so we're at 15 ice. I could see wanting to be at 16 here. When we play... I don't think so. I don't think we can... Weirdly, I don't think we have enough, like, true positive card draw, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh god, that hand is unplayable. Okay, how does this hand look? Not great. But I guess you can do this double install into draw 2. Hedge Fund Anansi the Rashida. And just hope that your opponent doesn't pilfer your HQ. This hand's probably okay. Mando into a Thimble Rig, so then it becomes Hedge Fund. Oh, right. Spin Doctor, Thimble Rig, Atea. Oh, no, that's not feeling good. These draws are not feeling good. I actually think I want a little bit more cheap ice. I think I want a second Thimble. I think we'll cut an Anansi, maybe. Reset and see. Yeah. Yeah, I'll try that, Jason. I like that idea. Get more cheap ice in the deck, right? I guess, yeah, we really only have 5 turn 1 ice right now. Also, I should maybe remember, like, I don't need to get turn 1 value. Something like Thimble on HQ, like Cohort, Spin Doctor is probably okay. Okay, if I want to play this slow, is it cut a Biovault for a Hansei review? Okay. Alright. So, if someone wants to try this out and then write back to me about how bad this deck is and what they've done to fix it, I'd appreciate it. Until then, I will probably see you next week. And I think by the end of next week, the tier list videos, either both of them or the first one will be out, but from me and Andre. I hope you're all looking forward to that. It was a lot of fun to record, and also we have a lot more competition, so we have to step up our game and give you over 6 hours of content. You know, look forward to that. And yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. It was a lot of fun chatting with y'all and playing some of my favorite corp of all time. So yeah, have a good night everyone, and I'll see you on the nets.